in 5, 4, 3. All right, everybody, it is time to Star Trek and chill. I think that thing went live way before it was supposed to. I'm watching the feed. It's pretty weird.
I can't see both because I only have one device.
All right, so everybody at home, let us know how early we went live. How much did you hear of our conversation before we went live? We are here with, of course, associate producer of The Seventh Rule and resident web crawler, Virtual TrekCon. She is in Chicago right now. She calls it a blizzard. It's barely snowing. Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel.
Oh, you can't tell because of the lighting, but yes, it is snowing like crazy out.
Everybody knows Melissa Longo here from The Seventh Rule, Falling Tower occasionally. Sometimes she's on Women at Warp. She's all over the place on Virtual TrekCon. It's Melissa Longo, of course.
Hello. Hi. It's not a blizzard out here. It's way too hot.
You're way up north, it looks like, with your background.
I wish.
Everybody at home, we have a treat for you today. You know him, you love him, or you've heard of him and you like him, or you haven't any of those and you will. Mr. John Champion of Roddenberry Network.
It is. Thank you for that incredible opening. Hello, my friends. It's so good. By the way, Ryan, that was a great intro. My other favorite variation on that is you know him, you love him, you don't know what to make of him. And that is me. Here I am. Yes.
You know him, you love him. Easy bake oven. No, that rhymes, but it doesn't work.
We also with John Champion.
That's it. That's the one with John Champion. You get to steal our naming convention that we stole from Friends.
So good. Everybody at home, we don't know how much time Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel has with us, so we're going to jump onto the boots on the ground very quickly, but apparently we've got a second pair of boots on the ground joining us. Dr. Mohammed Noor will be here in just a second. We've just let him in. Fantastic. So stay tuned for that. There he is.
Yay.
Hello. How are you,
Dr. Mohammed Noor, everybody.
And Mr. Spock.
And Mr. Spock.
Look, I'm so excited because between Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel and Dr. Mohammed Noor, I'm looking at a paradox in my window right now.
Here's the creepy thing. I'm looking at Mohammed's hotel building from my window, and I feel like I'm like stalking you on so many platforms.
The funny thing is Anne-Marie totally hid her telescope before she went live. So Mohammed and Anne-Marie, I don't know how much time we have you for, so who wants to start and tell us what's going on in Chicago right now?
So much fun is the answer.
I need to collect my thoughts. It's so fun.
Sure, I can go first. Actually, I have a bonus guest if you want to, too.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if my little heart can take all this
in the background.
Bonus.
So let me talk. Yeah,
sure,
so I'll talk first. So, I mean, right now we're just having dinner, so there's some gyros and stuff like that. But anyway, it's been a great start to the convention, right? I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it's really great seeing a lot of people who we know from Seventh Rule and from other online groups. Obviously, Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel, fantastic. Always great to see her. Linda Anderegg, J.R. Poole, two of the sci-fi sisters, Yvette Blackmon and Samia Harper. I mean, so many, David Gregory, so many people we know. It's been just great connecting with everybody, walking around, seeing a lot of the vendors. The vendors, I've spent most of the time either in the vendors room or giving my talks. I actually didn't make it to any panels myself, but you'll hear about panels in just a second, nonetheless. But it's been great, and everybody's just so happy. Again, it's very similar in that sense to Vegas. And one thing I was nervous about was in terms of how things were going to be laid out is it going to be just as easy to walk around the vendor area and interact with people? Also, not just the sales vendors, but also the actors. But actually, at least today, I don't know how crowded it's going to be tomorrow. At least today, it was fairly easy to do that. We got a chance to just walk up to Connor's thing and talk to him for a little bit. And it was fine. It wasn't like Awesome Con where they're like, no, you can't get in line unless you're going to buy a selfie, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was totally like, hey, come on over and say hi. Blah, blah, blah.
Mohammed, is that a low-key way of saying that it's not crowded over there? You're like, it's great. There's hardly anybody here, but that's a plus.
By mid-afternoon, it was getting a little crowded.
Totally picking up.
Yeah, first thing in the morning on Friday, it was very light. It was very easy. I mean, aside from like say Doug Jones, who had like a mob, or Will Wheaton had a line like going way down the hall. But like the other folks who were there, it was actually fairly easy to get to, and all the booths it was easy to get to. You know, we talked to like Dr. Trek, Larry Nemeczek. He was chatting up with everybody who would go by. And
wait, I'm sorry, who was that again? Who is he?
Dr. Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Trek.
Who is
Larry
that?
Nemeczek.
Have we met before? I think so.
You know, let's put a quick pause because we're supposed to start every show talking about what we drink, what we're having for our Star Trek and Chill. So we're going to fly through it real quick. Mohammed looks like he's drinking a glass of water.
Yep.
Ooh.
John, are you also having a glass of water?
Look, yeah, I didn't know that was the thing, because right now, a glass of water, I can tell you that in my office, there is stuff other than water. So, you know.
Well, you've got the same thing as the paradox you mentioned, it looks like. Anne-Marie, water as well?
Yeah, for now. Until I go down to the Sci-Fi Sisters meetup at 8, and also a full night of Dr. Trek, hopefully, at the bar, which is, there's nothing more fun.
Yes. And I don't know about, go ahead. Sorry.
Melissa Longo out in Aurora Borealis. What are you drinking today?
It is, you can't see it. Ginger beer. It's not real beer, but it's ginger beer.
That's the best thing in the world.
Oh,
well,
so
I
good.
got something. I was like, why didn't I use this before? Check this out. Oh, this green screen's ruining it. So at the gym, they were handing out Heinekens, if you could believe that, at my gym. And I was like, why are you handing out Heinekens? And they're like, it's non-alcoholic. I was like, okay, I'll try one. So I'm gonna try
okay.
here. I'm gonna taste test.
I love this.
But does that mean they're healthy? Like, why at the gym?
I doubt it's healthy. I think it's just less unhealthy. But you're the doctor.
Yeah.
Refreshing, but probably caloric. Anyway, what were you saying, John?
Cold?
Sorry. Yeah, it's very cold and refreshing.
Does it taste like actual beer? Does it taste like something is missing, like the alcohol?
It tastes a little bit. Let me taste it again.
Okay. All right. For science.
Wow.
It tastes,
what a palate.
Honestly,
science.
It tastes a little less good. It tastes a little bit more like bitter or woody in a way, almost like I'm drinking just like somebody just added a pinch of sawdust in there.
Yum. That sounds delicious.
Melissa, you don't know what you're missing out on with alcohol, man, and non-alcoholic alcoholic beverages.
If you like that kind of thing, I mean, there are whiskey tasting notes that are very complex. Some are very woody, like, ooh, it tastes like the oak barrels that it aged in. It tastes like, and then some say like it has the aftertaste of fresh pencil shavings. I'm like, but do I want that in my whiskey? Is that a good thing, or are you telling me to stay away from it? You know?
Ew.
Would it take me back to my childhood when I used to chew on my pencils?
Exactly.
That's authentic.
Yeah.
So everybody at home, let us know what you are drinking right now. Let us know if it's water, ginger beer, Sluggo Cola, whatever, whiskey sour, hold the sour, whatever you got, you let us know. And while you're telling us that, Mohammed is going to finish what he was saying. He was very patient. Thank you, Mohammed.
Sure. So one thing which is different from Vegas is the talks are not in sync. People notice this ahead of time. So for example, like I had my first science panel that I had was from 3 to 3:45. But there was a Doug Jones panel from 2:30 to 3:15 and a Deep Space Nine cast panel from 2:30 to 3:15. So mysteriously around 3:20, a whole bunch of people started walking into my talk.
What a
mystery. Hey, at least they came. So that was cool.
How many stages do they have there?
Let's see. So there's a giant main stage. There's, I think, 2 sort of smaller rooms upstairs, and then there's some kind of staging areas in the middle of the vendor room, which is a little bit different than what I've seen in other places.
Interesting.
Like the cosplay family ones, just in the middle of the vendor room. They just have like a loudspeaker there for it. But I have a bonus for you here. I have somebody with me here who's another doctor, so it's no longer a paradox. but this is her first ever convention. So this will be an interesting way of hearing like what this first convention experience is like.
Yes. Can we guess? Do we know this person?
Well, Anne-Marie
well, then we can't guess. Let's meet her.
Okay, so this is Dr. Kerry Grimsley Jones. We've known each other since graduate school, but here you go.
Hi.
Hello.
This was my first.
Science officer. Hello.
Hi.
That's great.
You dressed for the
But it was
occasion.
amazing.
You're themed appropriately. Thank you so much.
How are you liking your first convention? What would you rate it more? More exciting, more intimidating, more creepy with weird people walking around? What are you feeling the most?
I'm definitely excited. Yeah, I'm a little intimidated for me, seeing all these people that I just see on TV. I'm a little intimidated, but I have Muhammad here who seems to know everybody and is friends with everybody. So I feel like I get special treatment and sort of the insider's view. And so it's made it even more exciting.
She had a great chat this morning with Walter King.
I did. I didn't get a picture, but I did.
Nice. That's awesome.
He's adorable. And John, I think you started to say something. I kind of stepped on you. What were you saying?
Oh, no. I was about to ask exactly what you were asking. And that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear that first impression, that freshness, that new Trek convention smell. And it might be too early. It might be too early to tell, but I mean, you got 2 more days of this. Do you think this will be a thing? Do you think you'll go back to other Trek conventions, or is it too much to process right now?
It's funny. Muhammad asked me the same thing. And, I think I actually would.
Wait, hang on a second.
I never would have dreamed.
Muhammad,
of
we're
coming.
getting some technical difficulties there, Muhammad.
I'm a Trek fan, but this is not really my cup of tea. But
Muhammad, we're not really catching you there. There's the Wi-Fi was pretty bad for a second there. Can you try to close out any other apps you may have open on your phone? That might help. And then just go ahead and close out the Zoom app. That sounds great.
Yeah, not that one.
We're lost in the wormhole.
Oh no, he's still there.
Yeah, I'm just
got you
closing
on audio.
all the other apps. Got it. Okay, every other app is closed now.
Great. See if that works better. Sorry, so we didn't catch the end of your answer. What was that?
Oh, I definitely would do this again. This wasn't really on my radar originally. It was Muhammad was in town, and so I wanted to see him, but I've been really impressed and really had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see myself doing it again.
All right.
She did go to the
Very
Enterprise
cool.
panel too.
Excellent.
I think the
I did.
Enterprise full cast panel.
Yeah, that was hysterical.
Nice.
I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Well, Muhammad, thanks very much for calling in. We know you got a lot of panels that you're doing, including one that was at 4 p.m. today, if I remember correctly.
4:15, good call. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So since your Wi-Fi is kind of a little rough around the edges, if you have any final thoughts, let us know. Otherwise, we'll let you go. Okay.
I'll head out. It was great. I encourage everybody to keep coming. Take care.
Thanks,
Take
Muhammad.
care. Be good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So very quickly, let's say what everybody's drinking here. Scott Jensen says sawdust is good for you, makes you sturdy. That is a lie.
Oh my god.
Or is it?
Probably,
Or is it?
It might be full of fiber. You never know.
DJ Kitty Cat says, I have a friend who likes an alcoholic beer. Okay. N Ram says, Heineken 0.0 is great. I want to try Guinness 0.0. Wow, what would that sounds
I didn't know you
weird.
could do such a thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
One Trek fan. How are you not in Chicago right now? I would think you'd be there.
I know.
Says she's drinking sparkling water. Kimber Spores is drinking grapefruit juice. Domestic is drinking Diet Pepsi. Pat B's having honey ginger tea. Yum.
That sounds
Ooh,
yummy.
Hello.
That
Yeah.
sounds really good.
Scott Jensen says you should try Cherry Pepsi Zero. Okay, now we're just going into the weird. It's kind of like when you watch YouTube
Cherry
too long
Pepsi
and suddenly
Zero?
like you're getting
Yeah.
these video suggestions where you're like,
I
how
know.
am I in
You
the,
guys are
the
going to mess
YouTube
up my
Twilight Zone?
algorithm. Yeah.
Oh, DJ Kitty
Even Star
Cat
Trek.
clarified non-alcoholic.
Yes. So a friend who drinks
Had a typo.
alcoholic. Yeah. Non-alcoholic. Of course. That makes sense.
I have a friend who likes alcoholic beer. That's me.
It's okay.
love the
It's
taste.
cold and it's cold and refreshing.
There you go. And that friend's name rhymes with Anne-Marie Siegel.
So, Anne-Marie, you
Oh my
are
gosh,
our other
what a
boots on the ground.
freaking day.
Let's hear it.
Okay, well, where do I even start? So yesterday was like a great get together at the bar, at the hotel bar, kind of like masquerade. It's very like out in the open. And Dr. Trek came and I got to meet like the sci-fi sisters who were here. I hadn't met Tamia yet. And Lawrence Meals. There were so many people here. Jara from Women at Warp. And Trek Geeks, Dan and Bill, who I'd never met in person too. They were also telling me how they had like heard rumblings about the podcast rap battle between Mission Log and Greatest Generation back in the day.
Lord. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah.
So then today was just incredible. Like
you got to give the people what they want, John.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. That's how I get into trouble. Yeah.
The morning was great, and Brie Belkey was here, so we did like some really fun rounds on the vendors room floor. Ran into so many fun people and visited all the vendors. I got a rainbow horgon from Lambda Quadrant, which is gorgeous.
Nice.
What else did I get? What else did I got a lot of magnets and like postcards and things for my refrigerator. But yeah, so there's like some cool merch and like some new, they have like the Strange New Worlds costumes, which I think might have also been on the cruise, but they unveiled those Strange New World boots that are going for like $400 starting price that are available for pre-order right now. And they have them in every size so people can like try them on. And okay, I was making fun of it at the beginning, like around 6 a.m. when I first saw the ads popping up. Okay, so now like by the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not allowed. So they have all these like bars on the vendor room floor with pretty strong alcohol, I've heard. And they call like the Bloody Mary
I've heard.
Bloodline. Well, I didn't get one, but I'm like, Bria had gotten one. She's like, whoa, after one sip. And I was like, I'm not allowed to have any alcohol on the vendor room floor because I don't want to by mistake buy these $400 gorgeous boots. But what else they have the Strange New Worlds exhibit was cool, and I heard that was how like the Spock and Mabenga first names were unveiled. They're like typed on the posters in there, so you had to have like an eagle eye to catch it like right when the con opened. And they also have like all of those skulls on staffs in the middle of the convention, in the
really
middle of the vendor room.
Cool.
But it's awesome because close up you can see like remnants of like decaying flesh on them. It's nuts. And especially Sarek's ears are so savage. They're like on one of those Idic necklaces, and that's what's underneath the Sarek skull. It's like mummified
so cool.
Sarek ears.
Wow.
It's crazy. And then what other so I met Walter for the first time, which was I'm just like so starstruck. And then I got to meet Noah AK, who was saying how much fun he had being part of Virtual TrekCon.
By the way, here's Muhammad at one of his
yes.
Yeah, nice.
I met Bonnie when Bonnie and Muhammad had like just come from taking Prodigy pictures. In the Prodigy photo op, they like kind of animate it so that it comes in a file. It's really cute. So Bonnie's like pushing Muhammad out of the chair over onto Captain Janeway's hologram. It's really adorable. And we did the it seems like there's so many Seventh Rule people here, which is very fun. And I've heard that they're two of the 3 Pauls from Mission Log here.
Yes, not a Paul Fecta, but definitely a strong Paul representation. Yeah, well, there's the Paul Fecta, and there's, when you're really lucky, if you join us at the right time, the Quadrupol.
Yes.
So the Quadrupol, we have all 4 Pauls in our Discord audience. That's a rarity, but it's beautiful.
Wow.
I did a screenshot of that. Yeah, I did a screenshot of that. I was so proud of them. Yeah, it was beautiful.
There's a lot of Paul talk on the
Anne-Marie,
street.
And you're talking about the skulls. Our friend, Mr. Chris Smith, who is an excellent cosplayer, posted this. This is a pretty good shot of himself with them.
Oh, yes. And I was right to the left of his picture. I was like, I better not get in this awesome picture.
That costume is knockout.
It's so great.
That is so cool. Wow.
It lasts all day.
Good job, Chris.
So he was a finalist.
That's so cool.
He was a finalist with that at the STLV costume contest this year.
That's amazing.
He's amazing. And then what else was I going to talk about?
And look, just a pro tip, like don't display a skull in your living room unless it has decaying flesh on it, because then people question your authenticity. Yeah. You lose all the benefits of
I want to know, okay, say you cut off someone's ear, say you cut off Sarah's ears. Is there some
You cut off Sarah's ears.
Okay, but then you give the ears to some minion to go like mummify for you and then report back to put them back on the statue. Like
Sure.
I feel like that's an intern job or something.
Yeah, that's menial. That's menial labor. You don't need to do that
Federation
yourself.
intern.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And then there's some like flesh on the Borg head still. And then I'm not sure if one of my pictures captured it, but what was also cool that I didn't really notice watching Picard on my laptop was that the Sarek skull is like tinted green, which is really cool.
Nice.
And then also one of the aliens
cool.
that isn't identified, like we don't know the alien type. The name on the tag is like T Metalis or M Metalis or something, like as a little Easter egg for Terry Metalis.
Wow.
Which is really cute.
Cool.
Like there's and the one other weird thing about the display is that I swear in the show the Zek staff was longer and now it's like a little stubby Zek like Grand Nagus staff, and I'm like, did someone steal it and they had to like quick make something else? Like
Hey, you guys,
it's a little weird.
Look what I just found.
Okay.
So this is the speaking of the seventh rule picture that was taken this afternoon with seventh rule. no Ryan,
nice.
Sirach, or Melissa. However, everybody else showed up.
Wait, no, Ryan is on it.
Represent.
I know
yeah,
some
Kerry,
of
I'm
those
on
fine
the phone.
folks. Oh, that's great.
I'm on the phone right there.
That's awesome.
And we just missed Linda when she was walking in. So unfortunately,
Very cool.
And then I saw Rex downstairs and some of the other people who were there just couldn't make it upstairs in time.
What's happening to Muhammad? What did you do to him?
I don't know. Oh, and then one of my favorite things is that I got to meet Nana and she signed my His Way picture that we had just shown her on the review with her and Ira for that episode. And I already had Renee had already signed it, so now I can get it framed. It's really pretty. And she was so amazing. She was like, let me just make sure I have a really good marker to sign it. So it looks really pretty. And so then after that, I was like, you know what? Out of my way. I'm just going immediately back up to my room because this is my most prized possession now. And I can't let anything break it or like spill on it.
Here it is right here.
I'm so excited. It's the best. It's so pretty.
Fantastic.
When did you get the Renee one signed?
So I got that from like when his wife did the eBay auction. There were a few copies out, and then
this is from today. Nana's from today.
Wow. So special. She's so lovely. Yeah, what beautiful. A day.
Absolutely beautiful.
Apparently, like I just saw that Mike McMahon has arrived and he's like wandering the floor. And tomorrow Aaron Welke gets here. I'm like so excited to start spotting these amazing showrunners. I can't even wait.
Well, Chasen is drinking a Seagram's Escape. I don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious.
Sounds fun.
Well, you are a really good boots on the ground reporter, Anne-Marie. I feel like we just got John, Melissa. I feel like we just got about 2 hours worth of information in like 6 minutes. Right?
Oh,
they also have Wisconsin grilled cheese here. So definitely have had 2 of those today in the vendor's room. And they have some good coffee. Yeah. And there are no lines at any of the Starbuckses. So that's like that's
another slight shade right there.
Yeah,
right. Shade right there.
Well, that's no. I'm just shocked because Vegas, like the Starbucks lines are like massive. I don't know what the difference is. But actually,
I will say that I mean, McCormick is huge, and there's so many multiple levels, and yet you can find that Starbucks that doesn't have a line, and they know their stuff. They're cranking it out because I know that exact Starbucks you're talking about on that main level. There are many good places to go there, and you're in a prime spot at the hotel there. So enjoy. I did have a question. Did the Star Trek Wines people release yet whatever their new thing is?
Dude, You're like the 10th person to ask me this today.
I have to know. I have to know.
So I went there this morning and it didn't seem like anything had been released, but all of that buzz has created such a like crowd around their booth constantly.
They're all
Got
waiting.
it.
They're like vultures like hovering around.
I don't know when it's going to get announced because like, yeah, it's crazy how much that's taken off. And then the other one that was like such a shock to me was the tattoo booth. And I was like, how is that possibly going to get like that?
I remember them. All the things you said, you said running through my head, right?
Every time I walk by
I didn't know.
There are at least 5 people getting tattoos. And I'm like permanent tattoos in the vendor's room.
Wow.
It's massive and like so busy and popular. So that's a really big.
That seems like an impulse decision you don't really want to make at a convention.
Well, I think Lawrence Nielsen's going to get one, but because I was like, man, this guy really has some joie de vivre. But then he's like, well, I've been planning it for a while. But I was like, wow, that's spur of the moment. But yeah, I was shocked that one's so packed and like overflowing with business.
Hey, Anne Marie, Chuck A says Jake the reporter would be proud of you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh, that's like the nicest thing ever.
And then he says April Fools. Sorry.
That is
he
true.
Didn't say that. He didn't.
Oh well, I'm like Jake. My information is actually going somewhere. Just kidding. I know he's starting getting his information off the station later.
Sam Seaton says it's 10:30 a.m. here. Chilling with my 7th Rule family is the best way to start the day. Sam, are you in Australia or New Zealand or what? What's it? What's 10:30 a.m.? Yeah, probably New Zealand, I'd say. Right? We'll see. Anyway,
Bob Kaiser's here from Austria, so it was like nice to meet him, and it's been a really fun day. And I mean, there's still so much left. I think everybody talking to the hotel bar that's kind of like Masquerade kind of really encouraged them to start staying open later. We're like, we just like to park and visit, and we'll keep you guys open. So please extend your hours.
And we'll spend
hopefully
money.
That starts
Don't
tonight.
worry. Star Trek fans will spend money.
That's the truth. Yeah.
So that's fun. And then so tonight I think there's just like tons of meetups, and so my guess is it's going to be a real Masquerade atmosphere, and I can't wait.
Well, see, that's what I'm really curious about with this convention, because you kind of have some limitations on bars, and then it's not a late night convention. There aren't late night events from the convention. So I'm super curious how that all happens.
I guess. So I spent a ton of time this week trying to encourage the bar to stay open later so that we have a meetings place. So by last night, they were like, okay, I think it's on. And then also, since it is kind of like Masquerade, like this summer when they were closed, you could just like BYO and just congregate there.
Right.
It's not like an enclosed place. So I think that's going to turn out really well for us, because it is a little weird. And like there is one bar that's open, I guess, till 2 at the bottom of one of the other hotels, even though you have to go outside to get to it. And somebody went over there last night and they're like, it's kind of like a weird frat bar, like not really a great place for a Star Trek convention.
Right.
But and really loud with like techno music. So I just don't know if it's like the right match.
Yeah.
Techno music, eh?
Oh,
are they playing any tattoo?
I was going to tell you.
Sam says yes, Australia. Sorry to interrupt. So welcome, Sam.
Okay.
Glad you could join us. I know that
so good to see
the
you
hours
again.
are a little tough for Australians. What were you saying, Anne-Marie? Oh, by the way, Anne-Marie, how long do we have you for? I know there's John was saying there's meetups, there's greet ups, there's all kinds of things going on.
I can stay a little longer.
Nice.
Okay.
But the cosplay is starting to get on point. Like as the day picked up, and I think some of like the reason, in addition to how big the space is, that it looked kind of empty in the morning was, first of all, it was Friday morning, and then also a lot of people are just in panels. I think it seems like a lot of people are here as their first convention, so they're just like at the panels and you don't see them. Because like by mid-afternoon, when
we got to have a drinking game
finishing,
for every time someone low-key throws shade on how many people are there. We've had like 5 times where people are like, and the Starbucks is empty, or boy, there's no lines. It's really great.
No, it really started picking up, and the word on the street is 8,000 tickets were sold. So we'll see if like this weekend, how this weekend. I mean, I don't know if that's true, and we'll see what it looks like this weekend. But I mean, it could, you never know. And it could, like, I guess they are thinking a lot of people will be coming who don't usually go to like Vegas or if it's in Mission, New York. So we'll see what the crowd is, but there started to be some good cosplay too. Like one thing that's really cute is that we didn't see at STLV obviously this past summer was that kids are back at conventions, which is just so wonderful to see. And the kid cosplay here is on point. Like there's a little Naomi running around, which was like the cutest thing. And then there's a little there's a little Borg with like an eyepiece that was like lighting up. And then I saw like two friends come in who are like, I mean, probably teens or like young 20s. So not like a normal Voyager age group, like younger fans. And one was 7, totally looked amazingly like 7. Then the other one was Ichab, and that Ichab was on point, which was great to see. I haven't seen it. I don't know if I've seen an Ichab before. And then there's like, I'm not sure if the doll that's walking around that looks so much like doll. I know Marina Kravchuk already got a picture with the doll, and Aaron Wilkie already retweeted it.
Doll from Prodigy, right?
Yeah, and it's
I saw
like,
that. It looks great.
On, but I can't tell if it's like actually hired by Paramount or if it's somebody.
That's what I thought, because it looked pretty perfect.
Yeah, it's nuts. I'm like, whoa. And then there's like a Akira and Lita Niners pair walking around that's really fun. So nice. I mean, I can't even wait to see what the cosplay is going to be like this weekend. And some TOS Klingons that looked on point, and some TOS Romulans.
Wow.
Yeah. I know.
Holy cow.
Look at that. That is just perfect.
It's just
incredible.
amazing.
So Melissa's having quite the conversation in the live chat, but I want to hear the answer to this because Chuck A asked you, Melissa, if you wish you were there right now based on all the stuff Mohammed and Anne-Marie has told us so far. Melissa Longo, do you wish you were there?
Of course. Of course I want to be there.
I thought it was gonna be a tougher question than that.
Well, I already saw one walking art made by Melissa's shirt on the floor so far with Linda Anderegg's like cat pack shirt, which looks incredible. Oh my God, I love it.
It's awesome to see that.
What about you, John? Do you wish you were there, or are you comfortable where you are?
Well, I mean, it's more comfortable in here since
in your lair.
Yeah, it is nice and cozy in here. Yeah, I mean, look, I definitely want to hit as many conventions as I can. There's no question about it. I love the social aspect of it, no question. I also, though, I feel like I need to have some purpose there. And you know, we didn't have a thing, whether it was a Roddenberry thing or a mission log thing specifically. I am so gratified that there are some, you know, there's a little mission log group and a meetup, and they're probably just all going to get rip-roaring drunk later. Good for them. You know,
they got a suite. They got a
suite.
Yeah,
I know.
Party's going to be out of control.
Yeah,
they're trying to recruit Larry.
Oh yeah, well that's tough. Yeah, it's really hard to recruit Larry. Yeah, to go to a party.
Exactly.
So I really wish that I was there, and I wish that things had kind of come together differently than they had. But you know, look, there were crossed wires. You expect that with a first time out for a convention like this, and I hope that this is such a massive success that when this goes on the road, they pick their next city, whatever. I hope that we are a big part of it because, why would I not want to be? But look, that said, you know, Ryan, we just came off of that amazing cruise, which was awesome. We've got Vegas to look forward to.
Just a month ago.
I know, right?
Our ears were ringing about WonderCon.
Yeah.
Virtual Trek Talk.
Yeah.
That panel was great. It's available on, isn't it the Star Trek Daily News? Or Daily Star Trek News.
Yeah.
On that podcast feed, you can hear you guys all talking about kind of like virtual fandom during the pandemic. It's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you did a panel on that. That's great.
We did. Well, it was sort of, look, it was a Dr. Trek panel, which means that he surprises you. You could go anywhere with the topic. You never know. But part of it was, let's talk about kind of pandemic fandom. And now that we're coming out, hopefully coming out at the end-ish of the pandemic until the next variant starts. But we all said like virtual TrekCon was so cool to get people excited and have a thing to go to. And yeah, it was great. So listen, and congratulations to everybody who put it together and was a part of it. Nicely done.
Thanks very much.
Yeah,
Thanks
absolutely.
very much. So, John, by the way, we've waited long enough here. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you do? What's going on for anybody that doesn't know who you are? Because I'll be honest, I know a lot about you so far, but I think I've just scratched the surface. I think you like martinis.
I do. I had a couple of. I love people named Paul. Yeah, I had a couple of great Hendrix martinis last night at my favorite place. And hey, you know, if you're in LA, find me.
One day that's on my bucket list.
All right, fair.
Buy John a martini.
Those pictures always look so amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, there's always like a, you know, any given week, there's like a 1 in 7 chance you will find me at Musso and Frank having a martini or two. So, and that's what I did last night. What's relevant to this show, relevant to your audience, is that I produce and host and otherwise have my hands on a lot of the podcast content that comes out of Roddenberry Entertainment. I've been doing that in earnest for about the last 10 years. Prior to that, had some TV and web series and other related geekery. That led me to my connection with Rod. Rod and I sort of worked on some stuff together. I did some little projects for the Roddenberry Foundation, and that turned into then doing projects for Roddenberry Entertainment, and here I am. So, you know, the big one is Mission Log, and that is an episode by episode weekly podcast that we started 10 years ago this August. Yeah.
Okay, so
and you're on Voyager now.
And now we have just arrived at Voyager. Yeah.
How much has the podcasting landscape changed in 10 years? I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Well, it has changed ridiculously. And also, I think, you know, we went through a weird transition as well, because we started out on Nerdist, because we didn't know, like, if you came to us and said, hey, start a podcast, there would be a lot of questions on how to do that and how to launch it. And we were lucky to launch on Nerdist, but then a year later, we were just like, well, no, maybe we should be doing this just purely on our own, move everything in-house. And we did. And there are so many more podcasts, but look, I always say that there is room for every type of voice, every type of show. You will find your niche, and your audience will find you because of that niche. Totally. And in 10 years, being part of a Star Trek community online, that has changed immeasurably, and so much for the better. That we all kind of get to know each other. We support each other's shows, except for The Greatest Generation. And it is great. It's great to, you know, you have your friends at conventions anyway, but then also have this sort of group within that group, that it's people who are doing a similar thing that what you do, and you can share techniques and frustrations and you know, just kind of sharing the joy of what you do. So yeah, I mean, look, podcaster to podcaster, you know that there is a lot that goes into this. This is another doing live stuff.
Well, they're supposed to be. I don't know.
They're supposed to be, yeah. But like, this didn't even occur to us years ago, was doing something live and doing this kind of, we always thought you do your one show a week and that's it. But no, it is a constant conversation with your audience. And
it's evolving, I think. Yeah. Everything's evolving. Everything's growing. Everything's being innovative. And speaking of evolution, we have meteorologist Katie joining us. Now, that would have worked better for Muhammad, since he's an evolutionary biologist, right? Speaking of crazy snow in Chicago, that's better. What's up, meteorologist Katie?
Oh, you know, better late than never. How's it going?
Some say.
Okay, so this is the surprise for John Champion, because he was telling me the other day, what I need is to be on a show with Katie.
He told the world that on the post-LLAPy show.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hi, how are you? Because I think it might have been Bill from Trek Geeks first. He was like, "Oh no, you got to meet Katie." I'm like, okay, and apparently, like, this is just a known thing in the Star Trek live streaming and podcast world. Is you got to do a thing with Katie. So now I'm doing a thing with Katie, and I'm thrilled.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
how to
welcome
put
to
pressure
us
on
both.
somebody's shoulders in 10 seconds. She's like,
Right.
what do I do?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. How much is your photo op?
Yeah.
Oh, and
Awesome.
Katie, what are you drinking today, by the way?
Water.
Wow,
Hey,
Team Water is
all
dominating
right.
today.
Wow.
I have
Yeah.
to hydrate.
Although Melissa and I both have something with beer in the name that has no alcohol. So
This is
There
true.
you go.
that's a pretty good team
Wow.
too.
Yeah.
You got a
be
lot of fans in the
outnumbered,
live
but
chat.
we're
Katie.
mighty.
Yeah.
Aw.
I'll be Team Bloody Mary soon.
Nice.
Freaking love my Bloody Marys.
Anyway,
All right, where's the best Bloody Mary? Because this
This
is
is
important.
always a question.
question.
You know, hard to say. I kind of love all Bloody Marys in their own way. I really
you-
like a hotel Bloody Mary. There's something about
Okay.
like they're peppery. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I love like the nice steakhouse Bloody Marys. Those are obviously amazing, but I really do even love plain Bloody Marys. They're just a wonderful, fantastic drink.
Well, see, that's the question. Do you go for like the extreme when you're faced with a menu and it's like our Bloody Mary has a half a pound
Shrimp
of bacon in it
and a
fried
slider.
oyster? And yeah,
Oh my! Oh yes.
do you want
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Here's the ideal. No. It's so.
No.
It gets,
Do
it gets a little
Melissa,
out of
it's
control.
true. They do that.
Disgusting.
Oh yeah.
They do that. They have like kebabs sticking
Yeah.
out.
I'm super.
Yeah.
I actually
Oh,
never
you
had
lost
those.
me
I'm
at
super into
shrimp.
celery.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I just
right.
love celery. It makes the
Mm-mm.
celery so good. And then I just had one with a pickle in it the other day, and that was actually delicious also.
Oh, interesting.
A pickle?
Okay.
Yeah, like the Ukrainian bar by me actually puts pickles in it.
That's not the
Stick
worst
anything
thing.
in it.
Nice. Yeah. I can't
I'm
imagine
telling you,
that
I've
being
seen
bad
some
at all.
bathroom
with
sink.
sliders. I've seen some with sliders
Really?
and fried
Yeah, the
chicken sticking out of it. I
Yes.
swear.
Sliders are
Same.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I had
there's
one
a
in
Bloody Mary
Seattle.
festival.
There was one in Seattle that had a fried
I saw a
oyster. It was like a
picture
bunch
like
of other
that.
stuff, but then a fried oyster. And it was pretty good.
Bloody
Bloody
Marys are just a
Mary.
trash bin of drinks, aren't they? Anything goes.
Leftovers.
That's delicious.
They are. Yeah.
Just throw your leftovers in there. Put it on a
It's
stick
the best.
Uh-huh.
and charge
Oh my-
$40.
Is it like just sticking your food in a drink of ketchup? Essentially.
Well, here's
Bloody
the
Marys
thing.
taste a little
And
different. yeah.
vodka.
Okay, so one
Yeah.
time I was on a trip and I ordered like a Bloody Mary with my gazpacho, and it was basically like eating and drinking the
Yum.
same thing. Then I needed like a year off from Bloody Marys because it just started feeling gross. But now I'm back with a vengeance. They're delicious.
Well, the lycopene in the tomatoes is very good for you. It
Yes.
counteracts
Okay,
any
so
of the
like in
negative effects of
college-
vodka.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
In college, we made like a ton of V8
Sure.
juice ones for like a week, and my skin has never glowed so much.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
because you bathed in it. Dude, what do you guys think? Gazpacho, yay or nay?
Yay!
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a fan of good because it's another dish that can be dressed up like a Bloody Mary. Yeah.
You throw some avocado in it. I
I
say
love-
yay. It looks like Melissa and
Absolutely.
Katie gave some faces though.
Yeah.
Oh
Just-
wait,
the-
are you
the
just
gazpacho-
prejudiced? Are you just prejudiced about cold soups in general, or is it gazpacho in particular?
It might
is-
be the cold soups thing.
Okay,
I think
so
it is
do not prepare a vichyssoise for you. Is
Yes.
what you're saying.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Okay.
See,
All right.
I'm a naturally
I don't-
picky eater. Like
Oh.
mac and cheese and chicken tenders are my go-tos. So
Very picky.
yeah.
But look, but a good mac and cheese you could dress again like you would an extravagant Bloody Mary.
Ooh.
You could
Mm.
throw a half a
Mac
pound
and
of bacon
cheese.
and a slider and a rib
That's
and
a
whatever
fair
else. You
point.
got. You could do it. You
Rib.
could do it.
Get
Yeah,
some
a
pulled
rib.
pork in there. Yeah.
Sure.
One rib.
I did that at
Not
Knott's.
even the meat, just the bone.
Oh, look, hey, look, I went to Knott's during a food fest and it was a cone with mac and cheese, pulled pork, and like a spicy boysenberry sauce. And it was It was so dumb. I had to order it. It was just like
Melissa's going to take a bathroom break if you
Okay,
keep talking
so
about
here's
it.
the
yeah.
So Mission Log has this Discord server, and one of the channels on the Mission Log Discord server is about like
Epicureanism.
Yes, Epicurean adventures. And oh my
Yeah.
gosh, every time I watch it, you can't like look at it hungry because
That's
you'll need to like run outside and get
where I
food.
spend most of my time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Mhm. I apologize, Ryan, because this is what I do on Mission Log. We get hey, we're talking about Star Trek. Today's episode is blah 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 blah, and then I spend 10 minutes. Did you see what Neelix was cooking?
Yeah, did you see that?
Because
picture
let's
of
talk
that
about this.
food?
Right.
Well,
Our
food is
free-for-alls have
generally
degenerated
good-
to
yeah.
a lot of dessert talk, a lot of grilled cheese talk,
Nice.
all kinds of.
Nice.
Sirach and I do everything in our power to not talk about basketball throughout the entire show.
You fail miserably.
But or snacks, we like to talk about snacks like chips
Sure.
and cookies. I mean, there's
Yeah.
just so
Oh,
many
he's like-
things
he
in the
likes
world.
that, like,
to
Hershey's
talk about.
chocolate
Cheetos.
eggs.
Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
Hershey.
Display that again.
They sell them in bulk. I will say I have like 3
Wow.
packages
Is
of
that
them
marshmallow?
right now.
Yum.
Chocolate marshmallow. This is all I've eaten for the past 48 hours.
Okay, Katie, I'm texting you my address right now. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll just
Oh
send
my
you
gosh.
some. They're so good.
All right,
Oh,
Is
are
that
those
marshmallow in the middle?
Yeah, it's like just a thin chocolate shell and then marshmallow in the middle. And it's just, it's amazing.
how do you feel about a Cadbury egg? Like, do you prefer the Hershey's egg, or do you go for
honestly,
a Cadbury?
They're so different. I'm like, I'll go with
Yeah?
both.
Okay.
We
All
were
right.
just
Choice.
talking
Good
about
choice.
Cadbury. Who said they didn't like them? Somebody said they didn't like Cadbury. I love them.
Really?
Yeah, they're so good.
Oh, they're great.
I mean, I love
Melissa,
them.
Melissa, you don't remember who it was that was saying they didn't like them?
No, I don't remember.
Because we need to find that person.
Yeah.
They know what they did. They know what
Yeah.
they did.
And I don't
them
admit that I don't
Cadbury
like them in
eggs
public.
I
Yeah.
don't like them in public.
You
There
don't like
go.
them in public?
No, this is why I don't say I don't like them in public.
Mm.
Everyone likes them. It's like saying you don't like dogs or something. Like people are like,
Oh,
oh, you're an
no.
awful person.
Oh, Anne-Marie, was it you?
No,
Oh, not in
Usually I
public.
don't
It
admit
Might
it.
have been her.
no,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. I wouldn't admit that.
Okay. So everybody in the live chat, let us know Cadbury eggs, yes or no. And if yes, how yes? Very yes
Oh.
or
yes.
medium yes? I
Well,
say
they
very
are-
yes.
they
I'm
are
going
the
back to the
kind of-
feed now just for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are kind of that sweet egg thing, that chocolate thing that I have to be in the mood for it, or
Hmm.
or else
Now,
then no.
Alternative, because there's all these different Easter themed eggs. What about hard-boiled eggs dunked in chocolate? Have you guys ever had
Oh.
those?
What? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Are
I'm
you just
sorry, that's all the
making
time
things
we
up?
have tonight,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you
All right.
so
They're
much.
an affront
We'll see you
against
soon.
God.
Yeah. First of all, I
They
don't believe that
sound
was
like
just
it.
water. Yeah.
Fever
It's just-
dreams.
All of the
Wow.
TikTok does some amazing
Wasn't
things. I'll
just
tell you
water.
that. It's just so gross.
TikTok, you're drunk. Go home.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
That is a mood.
All right.
Okay.
Is-
Hang on. We've got. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Anne-Marie.
Okay.
Do you need to run?
Well, it's just that it's like my 12-hour time for my inhaler. So I probably
Yeah,
should take
go
this
handle
time to
your
do
business.
that. And
Do
then
that.
go down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then go to the new what we're calling Masquerade East. Yes.
And then post
Nice.
post pictures in the virtual TrekCon group so we can all see what we're missing out on. All 15 people.
Definitely.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
And go eat Giordano's. Definitely.
Well, and make sure, like, unfortunately, I don't think Marina Kravchuk's pictures are shareable, but if you happen to be to be able to follow her on Facebook, and she's tweeting a bunch of them, they're
Nice.
real. She just
Nice.
I don't know how she does it. They're up in 2 seconds. So then I started.
Oh,
following
nowadays
her
you
around-
just get a cell phone
Okay.
and it's got these things
She-
right in it.
okay.
You can
Yes,
just
but
it's usually got a button.
Okay, yeah, but she uploads them in 2 seconds. So then I started
Right.
following
There's
her around
this
the com room
you use
and
this.
taking pictures of her taking pictures, and then I put those
Well,
up.
She
Nice.
got close-ups of the skulls, which were amazing because you could read all of the details on it. I'm like, those are
Wow.
freaking radical.
Oh yeah, I
Got it.
shared
We'll
all
look
those in
those
the
up.
7th rule group.
Mhm.
Those are all in the 7th rule group.
All right. We'll look those up.
Sweet.
Well, Anne-Marie, Dr. Anne-Marie, that is, thanks very much for all the boots to the ground information and for all of your stories about, here are the pictures, and for all of your stories about Bloody Marys and such. And here is what you posted. Here we go. Pull that up.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But in person, the Grand Nagus staff looks like it's like 1.5 feet. And I'm just like, this is weird. It was definitely longer.
Well,
They were just like, you know what, we're
I think they just chopped it off.
I guess. But
for-
on the show, but on the show it was longer. That's why I'm like, did someone like
It
do it and they had to
is.
make one.
They couldn't
Yeah.
fit it on the airplane. They just had
Oh.
to shove it in the overhead compartment.
So crazy.
This
I
guy,
can't even
this is
get
the
over this.
Metalis guy, I guess.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Wow.
But
Wow.
All right.
yeah, I saw some people share, but I think like last night when they were setting up, you could actually walk over to it if you had like
And
vendor
give it a
room
kiss.
access. No, and take pictures of the plaque, but then they hung up the rope. So yeah. But it's crazy.
All
There's
right. Well,
still
thanks
2
for
more
all the
days.
information. We'll go check it out. You have fun the next couple days and keep us posted on
Oh, you
all
know
of
I
it.
will.
We'll try not to be
Yeah,
too jealous.
please.
I'm
Okay,
going to be
we
really
will.
jealous.
Okay.
Thanks, Anne-Marie.
Bye. Good
Bye,
to see you,
Anne-Marie.
John.
Yeah, likewise. Take care. Bye.
So everybody at home, here are the responses that you gave us about Cadbury eggs. John, you laughed about the very yes, but we got some very yes answers. Who says, I love a Cadbury egg. I'd eat one. I'd eat one right now. So yeah, very yes.
Okay.
Chuck A says
Nice.
the yolk is on us. Yes. Kimber Spore says very yes.
Nice.
Wayne says very yes. Donnie Pearson says shell yes. David Gregory says yes, for the love of profits. Yes. Boy, this is turning like almost romantic in a way.
Yeah.
People are really
Yeah.
have powerful feelings. Sean Mooney says Cadbury is so much better than Hershey. Ooh, that's on you,
Ooh.
Katie. He's
Okay.
aiming that at you. NRAM says yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
And Marianne Siegel, Anne-Marie's mom, says, I've never had one.
What?
How is this
do you not have
possible?
one?
Can't believe it. Wow.
Hurtful.
Now, okay,
Anyway.
but Scott says, I love Cadbury eggs so much I don't even unwrap them. I see.
Mm.
Clever.
That's an interesting life choice.
Very clever. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
but technically, if you don't unwrap them, then it just remains whole.
See?
So
Mhm.
you wouldn't have to buy new ones. There's a logic to this.
Scott's very clever. I
Well-
can't deny that.
Look,
Is this-
Melissa is so puzzled
is-
right now.
Is this the whole having your cake and eating it too?
I think it's
Yeah.
neither. I think
You-
it's
you're
not
not-
having
you're not
your
really
cake
eating
and
it.
not
Yeah.
eating it.
Yeah.
You're just kind
Mhm.
of suffering.
Well, he's
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
the egg without having the egg.
Right.
It saves you
He's
from the calories.
owning the egg.
Yeah.
It's just an ownership thing. Okay, so what's your favorite Easter type candy? Do you like the Cadbury eggs? Do you like the those what about those Whopper wafer kind of things? Those eggs that are kind of like wafery, those are kind of, what about
Those
Easter
are
bunnies?
pretty
I don't know.
Mm.
I'll
No.
tell you. I'll tell you all a funny story here because this I will never live this down, and now I get to share it with the world on the internet, where it will be forever my legacy. Right? Okay, so years ago when I was living in New York, my mom sent an Easter package, right, and there was the normal stuff in it, like a card and some candy and some jelly beans and stuff.
Yum.
there
Oh,
was this-
jelly beans.
Oh yeah, and there was this really cool, like very fancy wrapped egg, right? It was like in a foil wrapper and tied off, and it was just it was very clearly this came from like a high-end candy shop bakery kind of thing. You open it up and it had this perfectly smooth candy shell, like just amazing looking,
Ooh.
gorgeous, right? And I bit into it, and it was filled with this really rich, fudgy chocolate. Like, oh my
Oh
God,
my
just
gosh.
incredible, right? But it had
Wow.
this thin candy shell, and you kind of crunch down on that, and you got that smooth, fudgy chocolate in the middle. It was rich, you know. And a couple of days later, I talked to my mom, like, wow, that was so good. And that egg that you sent that had the filling inside, like, it was so perfect, and that shell was great. And she goes, that was an actual eggshell. That was not candy. that was a baker who had done this. You know, they use like a tiny little pin to just create a tiny little pinprick hole in the bottom, and to get
And
the
they suck out the
insides
yolk.
out,
Yeah.
and then fill it with this chocolate confection. And I was like, yeah, I just ate an eggshell because I was too dumb to realize that you're supposed to crack it open and just eat the chocolate from the inside.
But
There's
So,
You know,
calcium
everyone
in there.
got
That's
done the
calcium.
same
Exactly.
thing, though.
super
You're-
healthy for that moment
nice
in my
calcium.
life. Yeah, exactly.
Very strong bones after that.
Oh, I'm so healthy. Yeah.
Oh,
Physically,
don't
physically.
say-
Yeah. She never made that mistake again. Like, all things came with an instruction manual after that. Like,
Hang on a
The
second.
little sticky notes.
I think we're having
right.
a problem here. Kimber Spores agrees with you, Katie. Whoppers are nasty. What?
Yeah, they're gross.
This is what I'm just.
Since when?
I was kind of angry typing. No, say it ain't so, Kimber.
They're just kind
Whoppers are
like-
amazing.
of balls of crust, I guess.
Mm.
Like I just chocolate covered
yeah.
crust.
Like
Yeah, you
pizza
say it like
crust,
that,
pie
now I
crust,
want it.
Pie crust. What are
Like-
we talking
like-
about here?
I'd say stale white bread crust. So like I don't know. Maybe I've
Tastes
just
better
had
than that.
But that
trash
just tastes
stale
good.
ones, but yeah, you know.
Mm.
You guys can enjoy them. Personally, I think they're like
Melissa, what's your favorite Easter candy ever?
I'd have to say probably those little robin eggs,
Oh,
the Cadbury
Really?
from Cadbury
yeah.
with the candy coating and then the chocolate on the inside. Because I like the crunch and then which is why I probably like to eat the eggshell as well.
See,
Yeah.
you understand. You totally get it. My logic
crunch.
holds. Yeah.
Or
Uh-huh.
I would just think it was the candy shell, but
Yeah. But see, now I'm traumatized. And if you put one of those little robin's eggs in front of me, I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to eat it or not, because maybe I need to crack this off and just get to the chocolate on the inside.
and
Yeah.
I have to say, most Easter bunnies I find are disappointing because they're all
Yeah, they're not real.
hollow.
Yeah.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
hollow.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I'm going to tell you, actually, back in the day, sometimes I would get the solid ones. My parents would get me the solid ones. And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like they didn't taste as good.
Really?
It might just be a mental thing, but you're like
Mm.
just eating this big block of chocolate. It kind of loses something, you know.
Little
Maybe it
too
needs, it's
much.
like wine; it
Exactly.
needs to aerate, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe they need to put peanut butter in them or something.
That's a lot of peanut butter. I'm picturing
oh,
a chocolate
yeah.
bunny
Not
like
a
this big
giant one, but
with about
like,
3 pounds of peanut butter inside. Oh God, make it stop.
maybe like ice cream or something. I don't know.
Get down with that. Yeah.
Marshmallow. Marshmallow's the perfect
Marshmallow?
filler.
Yes,
There you
Marshmallow
go.
works.
I'm with you on that.
Airy, it's not as many calories.
DJ Kitty Cat made me laugh. She says, or he, or they, I'm not sure. DJ Kitty Cat, remind us. Circus peanuts are the worst candy. I don't know why. Are those orange kind of like
Yes.
spongy things that you
There
can
is-
use? You can use them to stabilize a table leg that's like
Yeah,
wobbly.
they're stale even when they're fresh.
Exactly. Like it's not even marshmallow at that point.
No.
It's just
That's one of those candies though, or one of those food stuffs that like every 5 years or so, I'll be like, Was that thing really as terrible as I remember it? I need to go try it again to remind myself if it is still terrible. And that is one of those that continues to be terrible. Yeah. Most of the time, just full of disappointment and regret at my decisions like that.
Yeah. Those are the kind of candies where there's no middle ground. People either really love them or really hate them.
Yeah.
There's a fine line.
Yeah.
Yep.
I rarely meet people that are like, oh, circus peanuts. They're all right.
The candy talk is getting real.
Yeah.
Right. The candy talk is getting right.
It always does.
Galinda, I miss real chocolate. American chocolate just doesn't cut it. You're right. There are some really good American chocolatiers, but yeah, I like dark chocolate and See,
I'm not big on the dark chocolate. The Belgian stuff, those Belgians know what they're doing. The Swiss, the Dutch. Thank you, DJ Kitty Cat. I know DJ Kitty Cat, we were just talking recently, and I can't remember if it was via email or a social media, or if it was, there's so many things where we're talking that I can never find where I was talking to whom. But thank you, DJ Kitty Cat. Needs more nougat, DeQ says.
Nougat is the best.
So good.
I love this.
So good.
One of my French cousins sends me this French nougat sometimes. And it's so good. It makes me so happy. I want to eat it all. And so I do.
I love nougat. I love Toblerone was my favorite growing up.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And with the little bits of Toblerone nougat in there.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what's in there. But oh my gosh.
Here you go. I'll give you my my recent Toblerone story. This is great. I go into a movie theater. I hadn't eaten all day because I thought this was one of those fancy theaters where, like you can get real food and watch your movie. No. So my dinner for this movie was a poorly made martini, a bag of popcorn, and a Toblerone bar. Okay, but here you go. Power move. This is my tip to all of you. That Toblerone bar, it was just warm enough that it wouldn't snap apart the way it's supposed to snap. It would just start falling apart. Made that fall down right into that popcorn bucket. And let me tell you, that sweet, salty little chocolate popcorn. Yeah. By the way, in the chat here, Half Measures Podcast, 100%. Check. Wait, I just lost it. He goes, where is he? 100% checks out that when I tune in, John Champion is talking food. Kia ora. Yes.
Very nice.
Absolutely right. And DeQ writing to Melissa, I think the most divisive candy I ever had has been black licorice. Definitely no middle ground on that one. And you're right,
yes.
It's trash.
We've had discussions on this. We've had discussions on this, and we actually came to the conclusion. I'm sorry, John, you're actually wrong. It's delicious.
What is delicious?
We've had it might be my French blood, but like I eat the most intense, not just black licorice, but sometimes the French stuff is like super intense. It's not sweetened at all. It's just like this intense tar goop.
Who would make that?
I don't know. I'll have to try that.
One right here. Gazpacho.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
I found that it's an acquired taste.
Wait, where in France? Where is your family from?
The south of France.
Okay,
so they don't live in the south of France, like around Marseille and Perpignan.
Okay, we're north. We're in Normandy, so I should just get out of here. I guess
Normandy. That's in the northwest. That's I've got good memories of visiting that area. It's really nice.
Love Normandy.
Very happy.
Indeed.
Although my grandfather was from straight west, so basically in between Normandy and the south.
Right on. Very cool.
Sorry to
so
bore
where's
you
everybody
guys,
else
Katie
from? Yeah.
I'm 50% Scottish and 50% Macedonian. It's a heck of a mix.
Right on.
Fun.
Wow.
I'm very spicy. That's the very good in arguments.
Melissa, you got quite the mix too, right?
I have the mix of all mixes. the United Nations had a person, this is what it would look like.
Is it the embodiment of Idic? How Star Trek that is.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. On my father's side, it's Italian, English, Scottish, and Russian. And then on my mother's side, it's Indian from India, African, Native.
From Africa?
From Africa. Well, people still get confused if I say Indian from,
Sure, they think
they
Native
think
American.
it's Native American. But I do have Native Central American blood, Waimea Indian from Panama.
Cool.
And then French and
Oh my gosh.
Pakistani.
That's
Your list
so
is
awesome.
infinite at this point.
Have you done the DNA testing? Have you done like
No,
the 23andMe
I am going
thing?
to do that. And
You're like a buffet of DNA. It's crazy.
yeah.
Right? Like you got like you just kind of got a little bit of everything. What a party.
Yeah.
You should definitely do one of those tests.
Yeah.
So, look,
and I'm gonna share it with Dr. Mohammed Noor because he does that kind of stuff. So
Wow. All right. That's the coolest thing. You do yours. I still have not done mine, but I swear we're going to put the results down next to each other and we're like, wow, Melissa, you have this incredible representation of all these historic cultures. It's amazing. And John, you're just white as hell. So that'll be. Yeah.
But that can also be amazing in your own special way.
Sure, my own
Of
special
course.
milk toast way.
no, they're all valid though. I mean,
No.
because that's what
I am
makes us
fascinated
all
by it.
special.
I've done a lot of genealogical research that actually my late grandmother has started on quite in earnest and uncovered some incredible stuff. So I'll be in London in a few weeks. And one of the things that I'm doing there is to go visit the monument to my 13th great grandfather, who coincidentally has the same name as my father. He is Sir Richard Champion. That's my dad. And he's buried. He was Lord Mayor of London in the 1560s, died there, and there's a monument to him somewhere. So I'm going to go find all that. And so that's wait.
That's amazing. I love that stuff.
Scott says John is from Whitelandia.
Yeah. And Bob
The land
D
with no
says-
sunshine.
Bob D says in reference to Melissa, 23andMe, she's all 23.
All 23. That's awesome. Oh my God. That's
Very
great.
good. Boy, Star Trek talk has never been this fun. Oh wait.
I love it. But
brings it
whatever.
back to- we're actually running close to low on time, but hang on. Let's talk about Star Trek for a minute. Well, we talked about Star Trek with Chicago, and we're chill. We're doing on the chill portion of Star Trek and Chill. But let's
I have a Star Trek and Chill thing.
Okay.
I actually do. It's right here. It's my cat. She has the Delta shield on her tummy. I just found it out. But look, she's got. Come on, Dop. Can you please cooperate? No, she's like, I will murder you all. But she has the little Delta shield. It's kind of, I can't hold it up, but she's
like,
got it,
"Would you
and it's
stop
so
holding me?"
freaking
But
cute.
she's so cute.
I'm so sorry, but you're just so stinking cute.
Oh, stop teasing
I will
us.
kill you all.
Show us your belly.
Yeah.
It has.
We want to play
has-
with her little belly.
It's shown up so well in the last few weeks, and it's literally the Delta shield, and I cannot. It's freaky.
So cute.
Here's a tiny bit of business here. Usually we handle like news and stuff on the Tuesday live show, the main viewer, but this is kind of interesting. So let's real quick, Dr. Mbenga. By the way, John, is it Mbenga or Mbenga?
I think it's Mbenga.
Mbenga. Okay.
Mbenga.
And Spock get their canonical first names in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Now, that's cool for Dr. Mbenga or Mbenga or Mbenga. But does Spock need a? I was kind of like, what? So does that mean? So if Spock is his last name, then wouldn't Spock's dad not be Sarek?
Also
He'd
be-
be Spock.
Right.
Well, not
And then wouldn't
necessarily.
Amanda also be called Spock?
Right.
This is very confusing to me.
Maybe when he signed up for the academy, he had to. They were just like, just pick one, and he was like, all right, fine, Spock. So
And then, so does that mean Tuvok has a mysterious last name, and T'Pol as well, and Tarek and Vorik? Tarek and Vorik should have the same name, you guys.
Ooh. They
So
also go
this
by
is-
middle names.
Truth.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll explain it, but it's just an initial question on my mind.
I do know that the Spock first name comes from an early Star Trek novel.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is kind of cool. Like, I'm not a fan of just like adding detail for detail's sake, or just trying to complicate things for the sake of making it sound like you're making a bigger story than it is. But I do appreciate these little it's sort of like in Enterprise when they go to Vulcan and the city looks like the animated series Vulcan City. Like little things like that I appreciate. Like you're putting a little nod to people who've been paying attention. Something like this just feels like that little nod, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, they've taken a lot of things from novels that were not official canon and made them canon. And the people that read the novels know, they're like, that's just like in that thing. And we're like, really? I didn't know that, but it sounds cool.
Yeah.
Well, Scott Jensen is going Joey Spock, Jeremiah Spock.
Oh no. They're going full on Amish with that.
So here it is. Dr. Jabilo Mbenga, which is cool.
That works.
Spock's going to need a little more work here. His name is Sachin Tagai Spock. So they like their apostrophes on Vulcan, apparently.
They do. You always wonder what they're leaving out.
Sachin Tagai Spock. Not for the names that we all know, but for their hidden names, first and middle names. They like those. Sachin Tagai Spock. Kind of like T'Pol, I guess.
Okay.
The naming of Vulcans is a difficult matter, not just one of your holiday games.
Yeah.
This is from TrekCore.com, by the way. Good pals over at TrekCore.
Nice.
Lieutenant Commander Sachin Tagain. Okay, wait a second. Sachin Tagain.
Oh,
but here it says Sachin Tagai. I'm already lost.
No, I call that's autocorrect shenanigans. Yeah. That's what's going on there.
Those shenanigans.
Well, they did it right here again. Okay, this is
that's their
they
autocorrect.
didn't spell check.
Yeah.
The poster's probably what we're going. Well,
right.
I guess we're just gonna have to watch Strange New Worlds to confirm. Everybody tune in.
There you go.
Somebody wrote how to say it in the chat.
Cool.
Okay.
Shen Tagai. Donnie Pearson. Shen Tagai.
Surnames come before forenames. Same goes for Bajorans. Okay.
Oh.
Shen Tagai, if I'm not mistaken. Good job, Donnie. Thanks. Good knowledge. Good job either knowing that or fooling us. Either way.
So wait. So is the family name Shen Tagai? So it's Sarek.
Yeah, would that be?
That would be
Shen Tagai Sarek.
Yeah.
And they would have them inverted like Bajorans do.
Bajorans. That
makes
makes sense now.
The other thing I was thinking is like there are some cultures. I had a friend in school who was from Iceland, and his last name was Jensen, Jenson, because he was the son of Jen, and his sister was Jensdotter, Jensdotter, because she was the daughter of Jen. Yen. So like there could be cultural things that just sort of change the name entirely.
Right. That's where you get like those Samuelson and Erickson and Danielson and all those from the Nordic countries.
Wow.
So you never know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like Scott Jensen.
Right.
There you go.
He's Jensen.
Yeah, but no.
Oh, I thought there was more to that.
No, there's not. There's not. No, I love the fact that Mbenga is a character in Strange New Worlds. I cannot wait to watch that character and where that, I do hope we get an appearance by a Boyce somewhere just to kind of acknowledge that he exists in that world. Because to me, it was such a powerful. Holmes. Yes, 110%, please. Yes. Just because this is a series where we know so little about Pike going in, because from the that it just feels like, oh, okay, there's this one little nod we can have to what we saw in the cage. I don't need to rehash, don't need to retread, but if we had place, wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, you can play with the old stuff, but make it fresh.
Exactly.
Make it fresh, new stories.
Yeah, what's interesting about that with the Pike thing is that when they announced the Pike series, everybody was like, cool, there's a new, it's going to be Star Trek Pike. It's going to be Pike, here we go, can't wait. But now that they've introduced this huge cast and all these interesting characters, nobody thinks of it anymore as the Pike show, right? It's just Strange New Worlds.
It's like a full-fledged show.
A new crew. It's not, and I don't think people necessarily want the Pike show anymore. I think at first people just really liked the character and they said, well, I want a Pike show. And now that you've seen all these interesting characters around them, including some legacy characters we recognize, now people are just like, well, I don't need it. Pike's cool, but I want to know all these other people too. Like, it's like, they've done a good job of building this canvas around him. Because I had forgotten that the rage was about Pike. Right now it just feels like the rage is about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, like the whole thing,
No, that's a good point. I mean, and Pike is going to be awesome. I have no question
oh
about
my gosh,
that.
yes.
But the attention on like having Uhura and each character getting their little teaser trailer, I thought was very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it feels like an ensemble. So
definitely
very glad to see that.
Which is always fun because
And it's a bit of a change up from what we've seen. Yeah, because like with Picard, a lot of people, it started out with Picard and like focus with auxiliary characters, but it's starting to mesh a little bit better in my mind. Others might have other opinions, but like just to be able to see a nice flat, here we go. And we have all these players and they're all being put in front of you at the same time. It's nice.
Agreed.
What character besides Pike are you guys most interested in or most excited to see?
Number one.
It's
really genuinely.
It's really hard to argue with number one as potentially being the best character out of all of this.
Great actress too.
I want a badass, awesome woman who is not defeminized but can also still kick ass.
I think you're about to get 5 of those in Star Trek. Strange New Worlds. I think Strange New Worlds has already made it clear you're getting 5 of those.
From the trailer, the one that piqued my interest was the woman with the braids.
Noonien Singh. La'an, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, she's very interesting, and she's got that same kind of, badass feel to her, but she's not defeminized either. Which I love too.
And think about it. This series gives us the opportunity to have number one, Nurse Chapel, and the Enterprise computer all in a scene together, which would mean that all 3 of Majel's characters from TOS could appear together as different actors.
Oh my gosh.
I think I'm most interested in meeting, what's his name? Brenner or Jenner? It's Kemmer. What the Andorian guy? What's his name? Gemmer? I can't remember his name. But it's something like that.
Not played by Jeffrey Combs.
Not surprising.
He
better show up in the series.
I know,
He's
right?
blind, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is
right. He's not an Andorian. He's an Anar, right?
Anar,
right?
Yep.
That's right. And what is it? Is it somebody in the live chat? Get me off the hook. Hemmer. Chuck A says Hemmer. Thanks. Hemmer time.
Okay. Hemmer time.
Kate touches.
And DJ Kitty Cat confirms Hemmer. Got it. Okay, cool. Everybody else, who are you most excited to see? Chuck A says Una. DJ Kitty Cat says Una. Everybody else, let us know. So we only have a few minutes left, which means it's just about time for. Wait a minute. No, that's on the main viewer. What are we doing here? You guys got to wait till Tuesday.
This is we're on day.
Let's do
Please don't let it be Tuesday. I can't.
Let's do a preview of the question, but then not answer it until Tuesday. All right.
Oh, nice.
So the question is, Which Star Trek captain has an artificial heart? Oh, don't answer. That's too. So we're saving that for two. Boy, everybody at home, you got to wait 4 days to know.
Look, you've got you got 4 days to Google this. You got 4 days to read every article on Memory Alpha to try to figure this out. So now, wait, do you give something away? Is there a prize involved here?
The answer. That's it. That's all we got.
The benefit of knowledge is what you earned. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. What was it? I just saw something. Chuck A says it's the main viewer. No, that was my mistake. DeQ says I miss Majel so much. She was amazing.
Yep.
Tapestry.
Sass.
Yeah. What about Tapestry?
Tapestry.
Jason said Tapestry, and that's yes. That's it.
Tapestry introduced us to my favorite character in Star Trek ever.
Yes.
Lieutenant Junior Grade Astrophysicist Picard.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's great. I believe that someday I could be much more, perhaps even a captain someday. Well, you're very punctual.
You're very punctual.
So awkward.
That was our good buddy Casey Shafsky that sent me this. He probably sent me this thinking like he talks about this episode so much. Maybe if I send him this toy, it'll like shut him up about it. This just doubled me.
Just made you talk about it more.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what's weird about that is on the stream, because of the effect behind you, like sometimes you'd hold it and the red from the background would actually show through. So he actually is transitioning between both versions.
I love it.
Of Picard. That's very
It's like Q shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh man. Mm-hmm.
He's like halfway changing.
Oh, there we go.
Q, damn it.
Lieutenant
Put me in red.
Lieutenant Captain.
Wow.
By the way, we better get an old Q action figure.
Yes.
When all right, because he's awesome.
He is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we should get a let's see, 7 of 9 as a Fenris Ranger action figure. And I'm sorry that they killed off one of them, but I want both of Picard's Romulan housekeepers as action figures. I really need those.
I have a feeling at least one of them
in action figures.
Well, one is less actionable than the other right now. Yes. Yeah. I like the Fenris Ranger idea. But then we could also maybe get Worf in the Nibaraith Alliance. Remember when he was going to go to the Nibaraith Alliance? In my head canon, I wish that he had gone for like a year or two and then like learned how to fight like the Nibaraith, or I don't remember what episode that was, but I think it was in Deep Space Nine when he was going to leave. And he's like, I'm leaving. I'm going to the Nibaraith Alliance, or I don't know. Somebody will know in the live chat. Somebody in the chat will know. Yes.
When Jadzia died? Was that?
No, it was, I think it was at the very beginning, once he transferred over to Deep Space Nine.
Gotcha.
And he was being a wimp because he wasn't feeling comfortable. He's like, this isn't like how Picard did it or whatever. And then he was like, then he just said he was going to quit Starfleet and go to the Nibaraith Alliance.
Worf is sensitive. He's a
very touchy guy.
He's a pouter. He is a pouter, and everybody knows it.
Aww.
Anyway.
By the way, not to derail the conversation, but as we were talking about Strange New Worlds, I don't know if you guys all saw the pictures of the props from Strange. So the big three, the phaser, the tricorder, the communicator. Oh, they're gorgeous. They are so cool. And they're the exact, to me, the perfect way to kind of reinvent a classic prop that we all know from sight, the way those three looked on TOS. Make them different enough, but still the same enough. They are freaking beautiful. So check those out. Look those up. Oh yeah. Stunning, incredible, and I'm going to need them all. So
I'm checking right now in the Strange New Worlds group, but I'm not finding it yet.
No? Oh,
not yet. I'm scrolling, but I also got stuck on this. So sometimes when you're like looking for something and then you see like this, you're like, whoa, check this out instead. I'm just gonna look at this.
Oh God, that's so cool.
Oh my, I want all the posters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Oh, there's a. Well, that's
so
weird.
cool.
Oh,
there's like a price tag that comes
you can
up.
Buy stuff. Shocking.
Oh, this is straight from Star Trek. That's why.
StarTrek.com. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out for those props.
Yeah.
But wait.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay. I think this might be it. Here we go.
All right, do it. It's
Strange New Worlds
exciting.
Facebook group. Don't
Okay.
film. Is this what we're talking about?
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Wow, look at how pretty
Yes.
this is. Wow,
Right?
look at
It's
that.
so smooth.
It's stunning. Yeah. Yep.
I want to see if they make
Uh-huh.
noises. Push the button.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Right.
Break the case just to push a button.
I know.
Those are just
Wow.
good. There we go. Look at that track.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Very nice.
It's so
Nerds.
ridiculous.
As a cosplay nerd, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, look at that, a little video there. Yeah.
I love the strap.
Yeah. And
It's going to be so. Whoa.
Oh,
it's
look at
actually
that! Look
moving.
at that! The animation on the
Ow!
screen. Holy crap! Oh, yes.
Push the buttons. Push the buttons.
There'll be so many 3D printers running on overdrive.
Yes.
Good find.
Oh,
Good knowledge, John.
Word.
See, and you have to wonder, like, when Discovery started 5 years ago, and there was so much kind of fan consternation about the Klingons don't look this way and the ships don't look this way. If little design touches like this had been in there, would it have helped ease that transition to go like, well, this is Star Trek, but it's reinvented,
100%.
Yeah, you with me?
100%. It would have taken a lot of the divisiveness out of this
Yeah.
whole, oh, it's old, but it's new, but it's this and this. It's like, just make it old and new.
Right.
Exactly.
It seems simple.
There
Isn't
you
that like
go.
a Disney thing? Those they're like, make it blue, make it pink,
Yeah.
make it blue.
That's a Star Trek writer's room.
Oh no,
Isn't that a
that's
Disney thing?
yeah. There's
Cinderella, right?
3
one
fairies
of them.
from
Fairy godmothers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Cinderella.
I think it was from
No?
Sleeping Beauty.
I'll take
Was
it.
it?
Wait,
I'll
which
take
one has Maleficent in it?
It's either Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, or Snow White. I can narrow it down that far. That's the best
Or
I can do.
Tangled. Or The
No,
Little
Tangled
Mermaid.
is great.
Or
I think
20,000
Tangled-
Leagues Under the
I
Sea.
I think Tangled is up at the
Yeah.
top of animated Disney films not made by Pixar. I think
Could be
Pixar
could
gips us the
be-
best, which was Up, I think, personally.
Could also be
Oh my
Herbie the Love
gosh.
Bug.
Oh my gosh.
No, not that.
No, it's
one.
not Herbie Love Bug. Okay. All right. All right.
That had me bawling in the first 10 minutes.
Oh.
I was
Like
I
to
was a
show
wreck.
the impact of that movie. When
Oh my
I was in
God.
marching band in high school, and one of our competitions, a band did Up, and they had their color
Oh,
guard
nice.
reenact that first scene, and the entire bleacher section like couldn't watch. We were a wreck.
yes.
Too
Sleeping
much.
Beauty.
Answer is
Beauty.
Sleeping
Oh, there
Beauty.
you
Yeah,
go.
cool.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, everybody. It looks like it's just about time to go, and it's time for us to enjoy our weekend. Not that we didn't enjoy this,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but we're here to set you off on the right track. You've had a long week. You're tired. You're cranky. You turn on Star Trek and chill. Suddenly, look at all these smiling faces. John Champion is such a treat for you. The rest of us are here too, and.
Hey, this was a
And
treat
now-
for me. Are you kidding?
And
I want to
now
come
you're
back.
starting off on the right foot. Now your weekend, you're going to be raring to go in
Yeah.
Chicago. It's going to be snowing on you. In California, it's going to be sunning on you. Whatever. Go
Oh.
have your fun.
Sioux City tornadoes on us.
Oh,
Whatever.
no.
Enjoy your life.
Yeah.
So John, thank you so
Yes.
much for playing with us. This has been so cool. Can you tell everybody at home where they can find you online or whatever you'd like them to track down?
Hey, thank you, and this is my opportunity to invite myself to come back sometime. So sorry about that. And yeah, come find me at podcast.roddenberry.com. A bunch of shows there, and but they're all listed, and you can see what suits you. And yeah, hang out, because we got a whole Mission Log community going on Discord and on Twitter, and yeah, join us. Why not? Plenty of room for another Star Trek podcast in your life.
True. You know, if John didn't already have the coolest name in all of Star Trek fandom and the world of all of it, then his name should have been John OG, because he's the OG in podcasting. But then I was like, but John Champion sounds even better. Maybe John OG Champion. I don't know. We'll work on it.
Took me so long to come up with Champion, which is
John the OG Champion.
I appreciate it.
Katie, where can everybody find you online, chasing tornadoes and talking about like seagull poop in icicles?
Oh, sign me up.
Yeah. It's such a great pitch. You guys can find me at weather_Katie. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I have a YouTube channel called So Many Random Fandoms, but that's on the back burner because life. So we'll be eventually kicking that back up.
Nice.
Melissa, where can everybody find you online, should they choose to do so?
Should they choose to do so, I am on the social media, Facebook, and the other ones, the Twitter and
TikTok,
the Instagram.
Snapchat,
Not the TikTok.
MySpace.
Not that either. MySpace.
Truth Social.
E-social.
Oh God.
Wow. And anyway, the three big uns at Melissa Longo.
Is that like on Total Recall? Never mind. Go ahead.
I think we're trying to keep it clean right now. But
I
am. YouTube at Melissa Longo, and The Seventh Rule, and Walking Art Made by Melissa, and the virtual TrekCon and stuff. And sometimes Falling Tower, watch the first, sometimes.
Right. That's fun stuff. Oh, speaking of which, what's next on the docket? Seventh Rule just did our Picard review of episode 6. Go check that out. Then on Sunday, we at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing our review of, let's find it. What's today's date? The 8th. Okay, so the 10th. Oh, Prophet and Lace. Melissa joins us for that, as does Chase Masterson. Boy, there are some landmines in that episode.
Very cool.
Wow.
And Falling Tower next week is going to be on Wednesday, since Melissa's on that occasionally, but are you on it next week? I don't think so. No, next week we're going to be doing actually Halo on Paramount Plus with Sci-Fi Sista's own Tamia Harper. That's Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific.
That's awesome.
And before that, on Monday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Whoa. We are going to be reviewing on the Seventh Rule, again, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday night, In the Pale Moonlight. So this is the one. This is the one that people sat through 3 years of the Seventh Rule to watch this review.
Wow.
They're like, what is it? Season 2. Oh, wait forever.
Admit it was so worth it.
It is almost here. Everybody at home, you can find me, Falling Tower and the Seventh Rule and Virtual TrekCon. Oh, damn. I should have had it right here. Falling Tower, we've reached 1 million subscribers. We got this gigantic gold plaque, and I had it right here, but then I put it away.
Very cool.
But it's
so
this
shiny.
huge gold plaque, and it's beautiful, and it's really heavy. And I don't know if I trust putting it up on a wall because it feels too heavy for that.
Oh no.
But anyway, sponsored by the plaque that's over there behind this green screen. So check us out. And I think that's it. Awesome. But especially go check out John. He does a lot of good stuff. He's got a great voice, doesn't he?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of all of you. It's
and
all
fantastic soundproofing.
I say it's all processes and filters here. So yeah, you're just hearing the best of it. Well, cheers, everybody. This has been awesome.
And very quickly, Thomas Surprenant says, hey, everyone. Thomas, you arrived in French. They say tu arrives après la bataille, right? You arrived after the battle. But thank you so much for joining us. Everybody knows and loves him. He's an Emmy award-winning makeup artist for Star Trek. All your favorite Star Trek shows like Deep Space Nine, Next Generation, Voyager, Enterprise, and he helps us out on Virtual TrekCon. Thank you so much for joining us, Thomas. And everybody at home, thank you all for joining us. Find us on social media, Virtual TrekCon. You know, go do your thing, go have fun. And hey, be nice to each other. Give it a shot. See what happens. Who knows? Who knows? You might like it.
Yeah.
That's it. See everybody. We should have a good, we need a good closing thing for Star Trek and Chill. We need like a, until next time, don't forget to Star Trek and Chill, but something clever. Anyway.
Nice.
That
See you soon.
wasn't shabby.
Not too bad.
We'll work on
Not
it.
too bad. Yeah.
It wasn't